First contact. The deep silence of space was broken only by the gentle hum of the UES Hyperion's engines as it patrolled the outer reaches of human territory. Commander Thaddeus Drake stood at the bridge's observation window, his weathered face reflected in the reinforced glass as he gazed into the star-speckled void. 20 years of service in the United Earth Space Force had taught him to trust his instincts, and something felt off about this sector. "Commander, we're picking up an unusual energy signature," Lieutenant Rosalind Park called from her station, her fingers dancing across the holographic display. "It's unlike anything in our database." Drake turned from the window, his steel-gray eyes narrowing as he approached the sensor station. "Show me." The main view screen lit up with a complex wave pattern, its rhythmic pulses unlike any natural phenomenon they'd encountered. The signature was too regular, too precise to be anything but artificial. "Status of the stealth systems?" Drake asked, his voice carrying the quiet authority that had earned him command of humanity's most advanced warship. "Full functionality, sir," reported Chief Engineer Winston Singh from his position at the engineering console. "Whatever's out there, they shouldn't be able to detect us." The Hyperion represented the pinnacle of human military technology, a vessel that could vanish from both visual and sensor detection. But Drake knew better than to rely solely on technological advantages. He'd seen too many overconfident commanders fall prey to unknown threats. "Multiple contacts dropping out of FTL," announced Lieutenant Commander Jessica Hayes, her hands steady on the tactical controls despite the tension in her voice. "Configuration unknown. No match in our recognition database." Drake watched as the vessels materialized against the backdrop of stars. Their design was organic, almost predatory, with sweeping lines that reminded him of deep-sea creatures from Earth's oceans. 7 ships in total, arranged in a hunting formation he'd never seen before. "Passive scans only," Drake ordered. "Let's not announce ourselves just yet." "Park, what can you tell me about them?" Rosalind's fingers flew across her console. "Energy readings suggest significant weapons capability, sir. Their hull composition, it's absorbing most of our scanning attempts. But their size and configuration suggest they're a war fleet." The alien vessels moved with precision, their formation tightening as they approached the sector where the Hyperion lurked. Drake could feel the tension on the bridge rising as his crew watched the unknown ships draw closer. "Sir," Hayes whispered, "they're broadcasting something." A sound filled the bridge, a series of rhythmic pulses that matched the energy signature they'd detected earlier. It wasn't random noise, it carried pattern and purpose, a clear attempt at communication. "They're searching for something," Drake mused, years of experience lending weight to his words. "Or someone." The alien fleet's movement pattern suddenly shifted, becoming more aggressive, more purposeful. They were expanding their search pattern, and the Hyperion was directly in their path. "All hands, battle stations," Drake commanded, his voice calm but firm. "Quiet running protocols. Let's see what our visitors do when they get closer." Throughout the massive warship, crews moved with practiced efficiency to their combat positions. The Hyperion's revolutionary quantum core hummed almost imperceptibly as power was redirected to critical systems while maintaining their stealth profile. "Multiple weapon systems detected powering up on the alien vessels," Hayes reported, her voice steady despite the implications. "They're preparing for combat, sir." Drake watched the alien ships approach, his mind racing through scenarios and possibilities. The Hyperion carried secrets that could never fall into enemy hands, technologies that humanity had developed through centuries of determination and innovation. "Sir," Park's voice cut through his thoughts, "they're changing course. They're heading directly for us." Drake's expression remained unchanged, but his mind was already formulating plans. "Impossible. Our stealth systems are fully operational. They couldn't have detected us. Unless," Singh interjected from engineering, "they're not looking for our ship signatures. They might be detecting something else entirely." The realization hit Drake like a physical blow. The Hyperion's quantum core, humanity's greatest technological achievement, might be giving off traces that no one had anticipated. The aliens weren't just random explorers, they were hunting for something specific. All hands, Drake's voice carried throughout the ship, prepare for imminent contact. These visitors are about to learn that humanity doesn't appreciate uninvited guests. As the alien fleet closed in, the Hyperion's crew stood ready. They were about to make first contact with an unknown species, but not as diplomats or explorers. They would meet as warriors, defending humanity's achievements against those who would try to steal them. The hunt was on, but the hunters were about to discover that their intended prey was far more dangerous than they could have imagined. The boarding. Overseer Vexnath stood on the command deck of the Harbinger, his scaled fingers tracing patterns in the bioorganic control interface. The human vessel before them was unlike anything the Kronax Dominion had encountered in their centuries of conquest. While their scanners couldn't penetrate its hull, the energy signature emanating from within spoke of power beyond their comprehension. First speaker, he addressed his second-in-command, prepare the boarding parties. Whatever secrets this vessel holds, they belong to the Dominion now. The alien fleet surrounded the Hyperion, their weapons charged but holding fire. They knew the value of capturing such advanced technology intact. Inside the human vessel, Commander Drake watched the enemy ships maneuver into position, his expression grim but determined. They're preparing to board, Lieutenant Hayes reported, her tactical display showing multiple smaller craft launching from the alien vessels. At least 60 hostiles incoming. Drake nodded, his mind already 3 steps ahead. Initiate Protocol Omega. Let's show our visitors why humanity's survival wasn't just luck. Throughout the Hyperion, hidden panels slid open, revealing defensive positions and weapon caches that had been meticulously planned for this very scenario. The ship's internal defense grid hummed to life, sophisticated targeting systems tracking every potential breach point. Sir, Engineer Singh called from his station, the quantum core is responding to the alien presence. Energy signatures are fluctuating. Drake knew what that meant. The ship's revolutionary power source was more than just an engine, it was humanity's greatest achievement in understanding the fundamental forces of the universe. And it didn't take kindly to unauthorized visitors. The first explosion rocked the Hyperion as the Kronax boarding pods latched onto the hull, cutting tools burning through the outer armor. Lieutenant Park's fingers flew across her console, coordinating the defense teams through encrypted channels. Multiple breach points on decks 3, 5, and 7, she reported. Security teams are in position. The Kronax warriors burst through the hull breaches, their biomechanical armor making them look more machine than organic. They moved with practiced precision, expecting to find a crew paralyzed by fear or overwhelmed by superior numbers. Instead, they found hell. The Hyperion's internal defenses activated, gravitational fields shifting without warning, turning corridors into death traps. Automated turrets emerged from hidden recesses, their quantum-enhanced rounds passing through the aliens' shields as if they didn't exist. They're attempting to access our computer systems, Park announced, her hands dancing across her holographic interface. Initiating cybernetic countermeasures. Any Kronax warrior who tried to interface with the ship's systems found their own neural networks under assault. The Hyperion's AI defenses were unlike anything they had encountered, adaptive, aggressive, and thoroughly inhuman in their efficiency. On the bridge, Drake watched the tactical displays with cold satisfaction. Status of the quantum core. Power levels rising, sir, Singh reported, a note of awe in his voice. The core is responding to the invasion. It's like it knows we're under attack. The Kronax warriors pushed deeper into the ship, but with each deck they penetrated, the resistance grew stronger. The human crew fought with a coordination and skill that spoke of extensive preparation, but it was the ship itself that proved to be their deadliest opponent. Overseer Vexnath watched in growing concern as reports flooded in from his boarding parties. Impossible, he muttered, his scaled skin darkening with rage. How can they have such defenses? Such technology. The answer came in the form of a transmission, Commander Drake's voice carrying across all frequencies. To the alien vessel attempting to board the Hyperion. You have made a serious miscalculation. This ship isn't just a warship, it's humanity's guardian, the culmination of centuries of preparing for this very moment. As if to emphasize his words, the quantum core's energy levels spiked. Throughout the ship, reality itself seemed to flutter, the laws of physics bending around the human vessel. Chronax warriors found themselves fighting not just the crew, but the very fabric of spacetime within the ship's corridors. "Sir," Hayes called out, her voice tight with controlled excitement, "the quantum fluctuations are expanding. The core is responding to the invasion exactly as the simulations predicted." Drake allowed himself a small smile. The aliens had thought they were hunting advanced technology, but they had no idea what they were really dealing with. The Hyperion wasn't just a ship, it was humanity's answer to a hostile universe, a vessel built not just for war, but for survival at any cost. "All hands," Drake's voice carried throughout the ship, "execute Protocol Omega, Phase 2. Show our visitors why humanity has survived every threat we've ever faced." The battle for the Hyperion was about to enter its next phase, and the Chronax were about to learn that some prizes are better left unclaimed. Hidden powers. The Hyperion's quantum core pulsed with an otherworldly glow as Commander Drake initiated the next phase of humanity's defense. Throughout the ship, the invading Chronax warriors witnessed something that defied their understanding of physics and warfare. "Core resonance at optimal levels," Engineer Singh reported, his voice filled with pride. "Quantum field generators are responding perfectly." "She's ready, Commander." Drake stood at the center of the bridge, his weathered features illuminated by the ethereal light emanating from the ship's systems. "Begin the transformation sequence. Let's show them what humanity has been preparing for." The Hyperion's internal structure began to shift, not through mechanical means, but through the manipulation of quantum states. Corridors reformed, rooms relocated, and entire sections of the ship phased between different configurations. The Chronax boarding parties found themselves suddenly cut off from each other, trapped in spaces that seemed to defy conventional geometry. On the Harbinger, Overseer Vexnath watched in growing horror as his warriors' neural feeds showed impossible scenes. "What sorcery is this?" he demanded, his scaled skin shifting colors with his mounting anxiety. "The human vessel," his first speaker reported, mandibles clicking in distress, "it's not just changing, it's evolving. Our sensors can't maintain a consistent reading on its internal structure." Inside the Hyperion, Lieutenant Park coordinated the crew's counterattack through the shifting labyrinth of the ship. "Security teams report all intruders are contained," she announced. "The quantum maze protocol is working exactly as designed." The Chronax warriors, proud veterans of 1,000 conquests, found themselves fighting an enemy they couldn't comprehend. The human crew moved through the shifting spaces with practiced ease, appearing and disappearing at will, striking from impossible angles before vanishing again. "Sir," Hayes called from Tactical, "the alien fleet is preparing to fire on us. They're charging their main weapons." Drake nodded, having anticipated this response. "Singh, initiate the quantum shield matrix. Show them why humanity stopped building conventional defenses centuries ago." The engineer's fingers danced across his console, interfacing with systems that represented the pinnacle of human achievement. "Quantum shields online, sir. Field coherence at maximum." When the Chronax fleet opened fire, their energy weapons striking the Hyperion from all sides, the results defied their expectations. Instead of impacting against traditional energy barriers, their weapons' fire simply ceased to exist, the energy disappearing into quantum states beyond their comprehension. "Impossible!" Vexnath roared, his composure finally breaking. "No species can possess such technology. This violates every law of physics we know." "That's where you're wrong," Drake's voice transmitted across all frequencies. "We didn't break the laws of physics, we just learned to write new ones." The Hyperion isn't just a ship, it's humanity's statement to the universe. We will not be conquered. We will not be subjugated. We are not your prey. As if to emphasize his words, the quantum core's power signature changed again. The space around the Hyperion began to ripple, reality itself bending to the ship's will. The trapped Chronax warriors watched in terror as their weapons simply stopped functioning, their advanced armor becoming nothing more than dead weight. Lieutenant Park, Drake commanded, show them what happens when they threaten humanity. The ship's defensive systems activated fully, but not with conventional weapons. Instead, controlled quantum fields began to expand throughout the vessel. The Chronax invaders found their very atoms being gently but firmly reorganized, their matter phasing through the ship's hull and back into space. Sir, Singh reported with satisfaction, all boarding parties have been quantum shifted off the ship. No casualties on either side, just as we planned. Drake allowed himself a small smile. The Hyperion's true purpose was never to kill, it was to demonstrate humanity's absolute mastery over the fundamental forces of reality itself. Each impossible feat was a carefully calculated message to any species that might threaten Earth. Humanity was not to be trifled with. In the space around the ship, the ejected Chronax warriors floated safely but helplessly, their advanced armor now little more than elaborate spacesuits. Their weapons, their technology, their very understanding of warfare had been rendered meaningless by humanity's quantum mastery. Commander, Hayes reported, the alien fleet is pulling back. They're retreating to minimum safe distance. Open a channel, Drake ordered, his voice carrying the weight of centuries of human determination. Overseer Vex Nath, I trust we've made our point. The Hyperion isn't just a warship, it's a demonstration. Everything you've witnessed today is just a fraction of humanity's capabilities. We chose not to harm your warriors because we don't need to. Remember this moment. Remember what happened when you thought humanity would be easy prey. The Chronax fleet hung in space, their proud warships suddenly seeming primitive compared to the quantum miracle that was the Hyperion. They had come hunting for advanced technology, but instead, they had found something far more significant, proof that humanity had transcended conventional warfare entirely. As the alien ships began their withdrawal, Drake turned to his crew. Stand down from battle stations, but maintain quantum field integrity. Something tells me our friends out there might need some time to process what they've learned today. The Hyperion's quantum core pulsed one final time, its power returning to normal levels, but the message had been sent. Humanity wasn't just another species to be conquered, they were the architects of a new understanding of reality itself. Turning the tide. Overseer Vex Nath stood motionless on the bridge of the Harbinger, his pride shattered like glass against the reality of what he had just witnessed. The Chronax Dominion had conquered 1,000 worlds, subjugated hundreds of species, but nothing in their vast history had prepared them for this encounter. First speaker, he finally managed, his voice barely a whisper, send word to the High Command. They must know what we've discovered here. On the Hyperion, Commander Drake watched the alien fleet's movements carefully. The quantum core had returned to its standard operational state, but its power lingered in the air like electricity before a storm. Lieutenant Park's fingers moved across her console, analyzing the aftermath of their demonstration. Sir, she reported, the quantum field dispersal was perfect. No residual effects on any of the ejected Chronax warriors. They're shaken, but physically unharmed. Drake nodded, satisfaction evident in his expression. That's exactly what we wanted. Sometimes the most powerful message is the one delivered without a single casualty. The bridge crew worked efficiently, restoring the ship's internal configuration to its standard layout. Engineer Singh monitored the quantum core's readings, ensuring that their display of power hadn't strained the revolutionary system. Commander, Hayes called from Tactical, we're receiving a transmission from the Chronax flagship. They're requesting permission to approach under a flag of truce. Drake raised an eyebrow. This was unexpected, but not unwelcome. Put it through. Overseer Vexnatha's image appeared on the main screen, his bearing notably different from before. Gone was the predatory confidence, replaced by something approaching reverence. Commander Drake, the alien leader began, his translator struggling to convey the complex emotions in his voice. I must understand. How long has humanity possessed this level of technology? Why have you hidden it? Drake's response was measured, careful. We haven't hidden anything, Overseer. We simply waited until it was necessary to reveal it. The Hyperion isn't a weapon, it's a guardian, a testament to humanity's determination to survive in a hostile universe. Lieutenant Park's console suddenly lit up with new data. Sir, the Kronax fleet is powering down their weapons. They're shutting down their engines completely. On the screen, Vexnath made a gesture that his species used to show submission. Commander, the Kronax Dominion has existed for 10,000 years. We have seen empires rise and fall. We have witnessed technological marvels beyond counting. But what you have shown us today, it changes everything. Drake leaned forward slightly. How so? Your species, Vexnath continued, you didn't just advance your technology. You fundamentally changed your understanding of reality itself. While we focused on building bigger weapons, stronger shields, you rewrote the rules of existence. The bridge crew exchanged glances. This was an unexpected development, but one that could have far-reaching implications for humanity's future in the galaxy. The Dominion has always believed that power comes from superiority in combat, Vexnath explained, his scaled skin shifting to colors that indicated deep thought. But you have shown us that true power lies in transcending combat entirely. You could have destroyed us, yet you chose to demonstrate something far more significant. Engineer Singh's console beeped softly. Sir, they're transmitting their ship schematics to us. Full technical readouts of their entire fleet. Drake's expression remained neutral, but his mind was racing with possibilities. And why would you share such sensitive information, Overseer? Because, Vexnath replied, the Kronax Dominion must evolve. We have been conquerors for too long. Perhaps it is time we learn to be something more. Your demonstration has shown us that there are heights of achievement we never imagined possible. The alien leader paused, seeming to gather his thoughts. I propose an exchange, Commander Drake. Not of weapons or tactical data, but of philosophy. We wish to understand how humanity achieved this level of enlightenment. In return, we offer our knowledge of the galaxy, its peoples, its dangers. Drake shared a look with his senior staff. This was more than just a diplomatic breakthrough, it was a fundamental shift in the balance of power. The Kronax, feared throughout known space, were offering to become students rather than conquerors. Sir, Hayes whispered, this could change everything. If the Dominion becomes an ally. Drake nodded slowly. Overseer Vexnath, humanity has always believed that true strength lies not in the ability to destroy, but in the wisdom to know when not to. Your proposal intrigues us. Perhaps there is much we could learn from each other. The quantum core pulsed softly, as if in agreement. The Hyperion had been built to protect humanity, but perhaps its greatest achievement would be in fostering understanding rather than fear. The ship that had been designed to showcase humanity's power might instead become a bridge between civilizations. As the two leaders began their historic discussion, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter. The day that had begun with the threat of conquest was ending with the promise of something far more valuable, the beginning of a new era of cooperation and shared knowledge in the galaxy. The message. 3 days after the historic encounter between the Hyperion and the Kronax fleet, Commander Drake stood in the ship's quantum core chamber, watching the ethereal light dance across the walls. Engineer Singh worked at a nearby console, sharing the intricacies of human quantum engineering with a small delegation of Kronax scientists who stared in wonder at the technology before them. The principles are deceptively simple, Singh explained, his enthusiasm evident in his voice. We didn't try to fight against the universe's laws, we learned to work with them, to understand them on a deeper level. Lieutenant Park's voice came through the intercom. "Commander, we're receiving the first data packets from the Kronax archives. The amount of information they're sharing, it's unprecedented." Drake smiled slightly. The Kronax had been true to their word. In the days following their surrender, they had opened their vast databases to humanity, sharing knowledge gathered over millennia of space exploration. Star charts, xenobiological studies, cultural records of 1,000 civilizations, all freely given in exchange for the chance to understand humanity's quantum breakthrough. "Commander," one of the Kronax scientists addressed Drake, its translator perfectly conveying the mix of awe and curiosity in its voice. "We've analyzed every aspect of your quantum technology, yet we still cannot fully comprehend how your species made such a leap. Our own scientists pursued similar theories for centuries, but we always concluded it was impossible." Drake turned to face the alien researcher. "Perhaps that was the difference. We never accepted that it was impossible. Humanity has always been driven by the need to surpass its limitations." On the bridge, Lieutenant Hayes monitored the communications between the Hyperion and the growing number of alien vessels arriving in the sector. Word had spread quickly through the galaxy about what had transpired here. The Kronax Dominion, the greatest military power in known space, had not only stood down before a single human ship but had also openly acknowledged humanity's technological superiority. "The quantum core is more than just a power source," Singh continued his explanation to the enthralled aliens. "It's a testament to human persistence. Every failed experiment, every setback, every theoretical dead end, they all led us here." In his private quarters, Overseer Vexnath was composing his final report to the Dominion High Command. His words would reshape the future of his entire civilization. "We encountered not just a superior force, but a superior way of thinking. The humans have shown us that true power lies not in the ability to destroy, but in the wisdom to transcend destruction itself." The Hyperion's quantum core pulsed rhythmically, its energy synchronizing with the ship's systems in ways that still amazed even its creators. The technology that had been developed to protect humanity was now serving as a bridge between civilizations, fostering understanding where there had once been fear. "Commander," Park called from her station, "we're receiving requests for diplomatic contacts from 12 different species. They all want to establish relations with Earth after hearing about what happened here." Drake nodded, understanding the magnitude of the change they had set in motion. The Hyperion had been built in secret, a guardian created to ensure humanity's survival in a hostile universe. Instead, it had become something far more significant, a symbol of human potential and a catalyst for peaceful cooperation. "Sir," Hayes reported, "the Kronax fleet is requesting permission to escort us back to Earth. They're offering to serve as honor guards for the journey." The irony wasn't lost on anyone. The same ships that had come to conquer were now volunteering to protect. The Kronax, renowned for their martial pride, had found something worth more than victory in combat. They had found inspiration. In the quantum core chamber, Singh finished his presentation to the alien scientists. "The most important thing to understand," he concluded, "is that this technology wasn't created for war. It was created because humanity refused to accept limitations, refused to believe in impossibilities." Drake watched as the Kronax delegates discussed among themselves, their excitement palpable even across the species barrier. They had come seeking military secrets but had found something far more valuable, a new way of seeing the universe itself. "Commander," Vexnatha's voice came through the ship's communication system, "my report to the High Command has been sent. The Dominion is formally requesting a permanent diplomatic presence on Earth. We have much to learn from your people." As the Hyperion prepared for its journey home, Drake reflected on how differently things could have gone. The ship had been designed as humanity's ultimate defense, but its greatest victory had come without firing a shot. They had faced a superior force and won not through destruction, but through demonstration. The quantum core's light seemed to brighten, as if responding to these thoughts. Humanity had created this technology to survive in a hostile universe, but in doing so, they had begun to make the universe less hostile. The message they had sent would echo across the galaxy: humanity was not just another spacefaring race to be conquered or feared, they were pioneers of a new way forward, guardians of knowledge that could benefit all species. As the combined fleet set course for Earth, the stars seemed to shine with new possibility. The day that began with the threat of war had ended by opening a door to a future where technology served not to divide species, but to unite them in the pursuit of understanding. The Hyperion had done more than protect humanity, it had shown the galaxy a better way forward.